Well, Nikki heard it up, and Liv, though, hits her in the oblivion.
Hey guys, we're here at the Paint Square Circle. We soon will talk about Nikki Bella and her recent return to WWE. This time get into the ring more, and we're going to see what's going to happen next as she embark on her most recent run for WWE. And what feels going to happen here. Let's talk more about the Paint Square Circle. Hey guys, we're here at the Paint Square Circle tuning in. We're going to talk about Nikki Bella's return, make a difference in the new women's division. We're talking about why Nikki Bella back in WWE now. You guys get the license, we come to the Paint Square Circle. We definitely going to talk about this one. Now, we know Nikki Bella had recently returned on the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw. She had a segment, and she also talked about her return to WWE, how the women's division has changed, and where she's at in her current career right now, of her goals, and what she want to accomplish and everything. Now, while she was getting into that segment on Monday Night Raw, she was interrupted by current one half of the women's tag team champion, Liv Morgan. They had a back and forth, and then it ended up with Liv Morgan hitting the oblivion on Nikki Bella. So we already know that these two are soon going to have a feud at some given point in time. But let's take a moment out to put some respect on Nikki Bella's name. She is a former Women's Divas champion, the longest reigning Divas champion, I believe, at 301 days. She definitely helped elevate that championship. I know it's nowhere near on the level of the current WWE Women's Championships, but Nikki Bella was starting to, get better in the ring and do her thing. Now, we know that Nikki Bella also, she has been talking about Evolution 2. And more likely, I believe she's going to have a match at Evolution 2 against Liv Morgan or any other WWE current superstar in the women's division. We also know that Nikki Bella, she has been gone for WWE. She took some time off. It was a little dispute there with the namesake where she was going by Nikki Garcia, as well as her sister Brie Garcia, or Nicole Garcia and Brianna Garcia, because they had an issue with WWE. Now, this is when Nikki Bella had her show called Barmageddon on USA Network. If you guys remember that, that is not on anymore. I don't believe it is. And she was trying to have an acting career. Did not work out too well in her favor. And we also know that Nikki Bella recently just got divorced this past fall last year in 2024 with her ex-husband Artem. I covered this on the Toxic Race Scandal channel, how she went through that whole saga where they got divorced and the whole as the whole, situation there. And of course, Nikki Bella, long story short, Nikki Bella, she has to pay her ex-husband now spousal support, and she has to pay for child support due to her, being the breadwinner between herself and Artem. Meanwhile, other than that, she went on her podcast, Nikki and Bree. She talks about her comeback. She talks about how the women's locker room is today and what's going to happen next. What are her goals now that she's back in WWE?
Amazing. And I have to say, I meant when I said last night about just being so proud of this women's division. I did some media right before this, and I was kind of saying the same to them, but on here we get to elaborate a little bit more. It's, impact means so many different things, right? And breaking barriers. It's not just about a moveset in the ring. It's about using your voice. It's about fighting for what's right. It's about breaking barriers, and it's hard, I think, for a certain crowd on the internet to understand that. Like, they'll hear hear about you paving a way, because, some people make comments when Io Sky said that to me, and
they're called marks.
No, I know. But what they don't realize is paving the road isn't just about doing moves and what happened in the ring. It's also what happened outside of the ring, right, and what it's done for women's wrestling as a whole. And I get for some of the young people or some of the ignorant men, let's just be honest. I don't even give a shit. They don't get it, right? Because they're just thinking moveset and they're thinking wins and championships. They don't think of the overall picture. And majority of the time it's because they're not a woman. They've never had a fight for what we've had to fight for. One, not only are they not a woman, they're not a WWE superstar.
Right.
So they don't understand it.
I was going to do it today.
But real quick to go back to your kindness, talk.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley is the nicest person ever. And we've always had him, but
she's always been
so cool. But just the sweetest.
Yeah.
And just so beautiful. And there was even a few of us talking about it, but she is just so sweet. And I just love
that.
Kathy Kelly.
She's hilarious.
She's hilarious, so sweet. And Scarlett, and you realize what a great character Scarlett is because she's so sweet and what she can play. There needs to be more of her.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree. There was I'll be honest, just watching last night, I wanted to see more.
Yeah.
And
even though I have to say we got a ton of women.
Oh, you did. So many.
And Io Sky is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's
so many women,
beautiful.
but it's always the best feeling when you're done watching and you want more.
Yeah.
That's what you want to feel.
Kyrie kicks so much butt.
I mean,
I was like, damn, girl.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them.
So great.
Crush it. And
the timing was impeccable in that match.
And I love that Bailey's back.
Oh my gosh, me too. I popped huge when her music hit.
She is just the best.
Or
she is locker room leader. That one.
I love that.
And she's just
we'll talk about someone who's always has been the sweetest.
Been the sweetest. But that's what I got to say about all the girls. Think of how big of stars they are now. Brie, they're all so humble and great. None of them have changed.
Wow.
And they can in the position they are now. And we've known women in the past that have, with stuff they've gotten. None of these women have. They are all the same. They are all so sweet.
And that's why they're going to go even further.
Right.
I believe that. I mean,
and then Natty.
Did you just love? Natty was texting me.
I mean,
She's
Natty's my girl
I can't
the
believe
whole
you're
time.
not here. I miss you. I'm like, Natty, I miss you too.
Everything Natty and I kept doing, Natty's like, this just feels like a total diva scene. It was like we were right back into it. Even people were like, dude, I feel like I'm watching a total divas segment right now. Because just Natty and I were being Natty and I love Maxine, by the way.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing. Right?
She's amazing. And she did the dark match, so technically opened up the show. That's how I always feel.
Mom texted me literally right after the match.
Brie, so good. Yeah. She has grown so much, but mark my word, she is going to be a huge star. She already is a huge star, but do you know what I mean? She's going to get into that women's division and just start to crush.
I love it.
And she just has this energy, the crowd can't help but just love everything she does.
She's super bubbly.
Super bubbly.
It's so cute.
It's really cute. And I love her and Natty together.
Oh, they're great.
And
I like their outfits, how they match.
It's so cute.
It's
they
really
put in
fun.
a lot of effort. And that goes a long way. Okay, sorry.
It's I love just seeing how happy you are.
And another thing, because you'll understand this. Because I've been getting asked this question a lot. Why? Why now? Why are you back? What's the why and how is it different? And, I said this when I was talking to Us Weekly earlier, because before this I was talking to Us Weekly and People, and after this I'm going to talk to Sports Illustrated. And with Us Weekly, I just, I said back in the day, because we had to prove so much and we were fighting for women's wrestling and we wanted the world to have eyes on it and have the respect and the appreciation. And so back in the day, I was trying to prove stuff to everyone. It was proving everything to everyone of what we can do, what I can do, being the champ, being a tag team, whatever it was. It was all about proving everything to everyone else. And I told him, this.
Now, that was Nikki and Brie talking about Nikki's return to Monday Night Raw. We talked, Brie talked about how she was, in her segment with Liv Morgan, said their relatives reached out, says Nikki okay, she didn't get hurt. But it was a good way to bring Nikki Bella back into the women's division. We get to see now shades of the older era, which is Nikki Bella, and a current era, which is women like Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan has a good name now. She's one half of the women's tag team champion, former women's champion. You know, Liv Morgan had a hell of a 2024, guys, whether you like her or you don't like her. But now she goes with someone like a Nikki Bella. So I think that match or potential match in the future will be great for both Nikki and Liv Morgan as a whole. So I like where this is going. Also, she talked very highly of the women's locker room. She mentioned Rhea Ripley. She mentioned Io Sky. I know she had mentioned Stephanie Walker. She got her, I know she made sure she got her name, spoke that correctly. But Nikki Bella is in very, very high spirits now. You know, she's also very, very high on the women's locker room, said that the women are humble, the women are appreciative, and especially the spot they're in. Then they mention, you know, their colleagues like Natalya and everything else. So basically, Nikki Bella loves how the women locker room is today. She loves how it's grown and where it's at today compared to back in the day. She said the locker room has definitely changed and changed for the better compared to when she had her initial run in WWE back in the Divas era, as they called it. So it's very good, though. I will say with Nikki Bella, she's back for not just because, you know, she's, you know, in her new run with WWE. You got to keep in mind, like I stated earlier, she still has to keep up with the payments with Artem, her ex-husband, for spouse support and also child support. So in order to keep those payments up, you know, Nikki, no insults to her, wrestling is the only substantial income or consistent income she can do to get that going. I mean, she doesn't have an acting career. You know, she doesn't have no big famous brand that's taken off, that's hitting all the stores and the markets. I'm not saying she doesn't do any side work or any other business on her own that's not doing numbers, but just she has to keep up with payments, you know. So it's just, I'm calling spade a spade here, whether you guys agree or disagree. But I'm saying, still with that, despite all of that, it's good to see her back because we get to see some of the old and some of the new. Now, Nikki Bella, at the end of the day, is there a possibility she could end up being the WWE Women's Champion? Is that a possibility that that's where all this can lead up to? Now, that's a possibility, or maybe not. If not the WWE Women's Champion, is there a possibility that Nikki Bella could end up with the Women's World Championship, the championship that is on Monday Night Raw, the top women's title for that brand? That's currently held by Io Sky. You know, we saw Io Sky and Nikki Bella, you know, backstage hugging each other and everything else. Maybe she competes for Io's title. Or maybe Nikki Bella ends up becoming one half of the women's tag team champions. Obviously, she will more likely team up with her sister Brie Bella because there is rumors that Brie Bella is also going to return to WWE. So maybe we get not just return Nikki Bella, but maybe the Bella twins of Nikki and Brie. You know, these women did help kick off. They played a role in kicking off the women's division where it's at today. Now, not only we could get Nikki and Brie back, they could be in a good role to go against the current women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. It's a possibility we can get that. Maybe they could compete for the women's tag team championships. If not, you know, right now, maybe that will be the match of evolution. Maybe it's not Nikki versus Liv. Maybe we get Raquel and Liv defend the women's tag team championships against the Bella twins of Nikki and Brie. That's just a possibility, guys. But I will say it's good to see Nikki back. Now, she said that her run is not going to be a short run like Trish Stratus, for example. She will have a long extended run. So we could see Nikki Bella maybe to the end of the year. You know, maybe see her a little bit longer than expected. But she did state that she will be around for quite some time. So we could see Nikki Bella in some big money-making matches, some big superstar matches, or maybe for a championship, a singles or a tag team match, you know, for a championship. You never know. But you guys let me know what you think of Nikki Bella's return. Make a difference in the new women's division today. Click the link below to the next video for Pink Square Circle. Until then, guys, I will see you guys later.